David here with Core Confidence, and talking today about how to have a passionate relationship. Make sure I get my notes here. Big issue and topic, right, for a lot of successful guys out there, successful entrepreneurs, businessmen, and I focus on really helping the successful guys because they have unique challenges, especially that come with that success, and a lot of other things. And it's a really interesting thing. I was talking with a guy this week, and it can, every guy wants to have that. Every successful guy wants to have that ideal relationship, right? And whether they want to, have fun dating for a while. I talk to a lot of guys. They are slamming it in the business side of things. Family life, a lot of guys divorced, had one or two wives, and great kids, so they're great fathers. They have friends. They have all the other slices of life in good shape, right? Most of the time, most guys that I talk to that reach out to me are, hey, I look younger than my age, and I'm in really good shape, right? I work out. I do all these things. Some of these guys are like super fit and trim and ripped even, but they can't dial it in with women. And it's really frustrating that pie of life, the love life pie, that slice of the pie is not, you can't figure it out. And so there's a range. There's two main guys that I see, right? Obviously, they have a certain level of confidence in business because they've done really well there. You have to. And, a guy can be a little more quiet. He can be more introverted, more extroverted, and be totally successful in business and even good with people. And so two types of guys. One, he's going to be a little more reserved and quiet, and he's lacking the confidence with women. He's also probably being too needy and chasing the women too much and doing all this stuff. And then there can be the more extroverted guy who he can do okay with women, but with the women that he wants, everything falls apart. Not only that, both these guys have to struggle with women, issues of friend zone-ishness, and then gold digger-ishness, and a combination of the two. Now, a lot of times, a guy like this will want to, he wants a passionate relationship with a woman who's also pretty successful, because he doesn't want to have to deal with the issues that, is super hot, and she could be fun and cool, but she might be really broke, and she might have 3 kids and a couple ex-husbands or something, or baby daddies, right? And those guys don't want that situation, especially with little kids. They might have kids of their own. A lot of guys I talk to have kids that are not babies. They're grown up, right? They're in their, they're like 8 to 16 or in college or whatever their kids are, right? So they don't want, if they want to date a woman, right, and they want a passionate relationship, they want all this stuff, there's some criteria that they want to fit in there because they don't want to have to be part of potentially raising little babies, and they've already done that. They paid their dues with that, right? And they don't necessarily want to be a father to those kids. They may or may not, because we're talking about a passionate relationship here, right? And so, and that could be cool. Some guys want that or are cool with that. They don't want to be second dad. They already, this guy's got his dad. I'm a dad, right? And so those are two main guys I see. More reserved, some guys more gregarious, but they still struggle with the same core issues, right? They still struggle with those issues of the women that they want don't want them, right? And the beautiful women, it's beautiful. And sometimes it's like the woman doesn't have to be the most beautiful. She has to be more than well enough attractive or hot or beautiful to him, but she needs to have that full package deal, the inside out, right? I call it beautiful from the inside out, okay? And so this is a real struggle for a lot of successful guys. It's an immense struggle because they can have people come at them and say, well, I don't get it. Why are you're a successful guy, you're in good shape, you don't have little baby kids, so that's not taking up your time. Your kids are grown or whatever. And some guys, haven't had kids yet, right? Typically guys in their 40s or 50s reach out to me. And people and friends and family are going, well, why? I don't get it. Why don't you have somebody in your life? Why don't you have a great girlfriend? You're such a catch, right? And they kind of cringe, because they're like, yeah, I don't know. It's just tough out there. There's no good women available, all these things, which is not true. Okay, which is not true. So let's get into it here. Let's dive into the first point of how to attract a passionate relationship. And the first point is simply what I call start it off right. You have to start it right. And what do I mean by that? Well, one of my key attraction accelerators in my Attraction on Command webinar, which you can check it and register for at coreofconfidence.com for the next time for that, and the homepage, you got to start it off right. A lot of guys, they want to be friends first. See me shaking my head? They want to be friends first. They want to get to know her and really them to get to know each other. Now, look, I'm not saying you don't need to get to know each other. You absolutely do. But it's this tack of setting yourself up to be the shoulder to cry on, setting yourself up to be like, hey, her going, you're really great. And there's this guy that I like. Can you give me some advice? And then your heart sinks in your gut, just punched in the gut, and you're like, oh, right? Can that work sometimes? It can, but it's rare, and then it might take like 5 years. And some of you romantic guys out there might be going, oh, it's worth it and this and that. It's not worth it. It's really not worth it. Because it can go a lot faster, and because attraction is not a choice, and relationships between men and women are based on sexual chemistry as a foundation. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what mainstream dating advice says. I don't care what psychologists say. Okay? It's bullshit if you're not paying attention to sexual attraction chemistry. Okay? You have to have it. You have to have it. Otherwise, guess what? That's going to turn into a roommate, or you're forcing a square peg into a round hole. And you know what I'm talking about, right? If you've been married and it turned into a roommate situation, or she cheated on you, or you cheated on her because you weren't attracted, and so this is one of the things is that, you need to switch your vibe up to being this, the most attractive version of yourself, to focus on attraction and not trying to be her friend and get to know her the slow way and this and that, okay? If anything, let her say that, because you never, ever lose points for coming from the attraction, the sexual attraction side versus the friend side, okay? And women put guys in boxes immediately. And this is why I talk so much about vibe, like in my masterclass, and why it's so important. Don't you want the biggest chance of attracting the most women being the type of guy that has the eyes on you in the room, down the street, when you walk in, whatever? Doesn't that make sense that it give you the most chance? So you have to start it off right, okay? And so you have to be the right type of guy, right? You have to have that sexually magnetic vibe that I talk about and focus on. A lot of guys don't want to hear it. They overly romanticize relationship with women. And really, it's the guys who are the romantics, not the women, okay? And so, nature, right, biological sexual attraction does not care about your feelings. It does not care if your heart gets broken. All it cares about is this a good match for reproduction? And you have to understand that both for men and women, it's based on that. More complicated for women, that kind of attraction, than it is for men. But it's based on that. And if you're not paying attention to that, you're screwing yourself over. Okay, so you got to start it off right and focus on having this right vibe. Now, point number 2 is you want passionate relationship, right? You want that passionate intimacy. You want that love affair feel, whether early on but also for years to come. Well, guess what? Are you a passionate person? Are you actually passionate? Because a lot of guys think that they want, the women to show up and be passionate and do all the work and da-da-da, and then the passion will just happen. But these guys are boring, not fun, not passionate, and this can happen with the more analytical types, guys that live in their head. Engineering types, super analytical, and they're acting like they can interact with women like they interact with their job. And it's not going to happen. I keep looking in the wrong spot. I keep looking at the light, okay? So let me look over here. So you have to be more passionate yourself, okay? you have to take responsibility for that. She has to take responsibility on her end too, but it takes both of those people, certainly as part of that chemistry. But if you aren't that fun, aren't that passionate about anything in your life and things that are about living in the moment, having fun, I'm not saying, look, and passion does transfer. You could be passionate about, computer programming and get excited about talking about it. That's true. But you need to widen that energy a bit. You need to be a passionate person. You need to be passionate about life, quite frankly. Okay? And so you got to focus on having more fun. Okay? You can't expect women to understand and think like you do, especially if you're real successful in business and real successful in your career field, especially if it's analytical. You can't expect that, okay? And it's your fault if you don't focus on being more passionate guy yourself. Okay, so that's the second point. And by the way, more detail on this stuff, coreofconfidence.com. There's a button where you can sign up for it. It says watch my masterclass. I'm pretty sure that's what it says. You can sign up for the Attraction on Command masterclass where I go more in depth on all this, okay? Now, something I want to mention too is that 54% of women, there's stats out there that say 54% of women admit to cheating in a relationship. 70% of the women initiate divorce, if we're talking the marriage track, okay? So you got to give yourself the best shot by applying everything I teach here on the Facebook page and the group, on the site, all this stuff, and really take it to heart, because you're going to end up being one of those statistics if you don't, okay? And I don't want that for you, right? You've worked too hard. You've worked, to become successful, to earn the money that you do, to, buy your house and other investments, invest your money, to have a second home or rental properties, whatever it is that you do as a successful, entrepreneurial guy, a guy who's been smart with his career and money, and you don't want to get that shit taken away in divorce. Some of you have already gone through some of that pain, right? So you don't want to do that again if you want to get married. Now, I'm not saying you got to get married at all, but you have to pay attention to this stuff because it plays into, and it actually hurts you to attract the right women when you're playing on your success and money way too much, okay? Next thing I want to talk about is when we talk about who you want to attract as your partner, right? A lot of guys think and that they can attract just what they want because hey, I've gotten the success in the business life, so I know what I did and I can do it the same way over here, and I just get what I want. But as we know, chasing women and going after it like that doesn't work, especially for the more beautiful, high-end, high-quality women. And so this is the bottom line here. You don't attract based on what you want. You attract based on who you are, okay? It doesn't matter what you want, right? It's like, hey, there's the BMW X5. I want it. And you have no money, which isn't a guy like you watching this, right? You're already successful, but here's the example, is that you have no money to get it and the resources. Just because you want the X5, the BMW, doesn't mean you're going to get it. You have to become the guy that makes the money that can pay for the X5, right? And of course, with women, you can't buy her out if you want passion in a real relationship. So what are the qualities? Sure, it's important to identify, and I do this a lot in the breakthrough calls with successful guys. What are the qualities you want in the woman? Okay. You got to list those out. But then who do you need to be? What are the qualities you need to embody and become to attract that woman? Because if you're like down here and you want to attract a woman that's up here, you have to become the guy that's on the level or higher, actually. Okay? And that's part of also removing the pedestal. So what are those specific qualities, right? Not only that you want, but the guy you need to become. Some of those, I talk about all those things, right? And then there are those that are specific to you, that are authentic to you, that are core to who you are. Because here's the deal. The next point is that you got to become the most attractive version of yourself. And you got to lead with who you are and your lifestyle, right? This connects right to it. So there are things that have to change about who you are and what you're doing, bottom line, because you're not getting results, right? And that's what I help guys do. That's why I exist. So that's why this stuff is here. And then there's those things that are core to you that are uniquely you, that you don't need to change, but they make you you, if that makes sense. So for instance, a guy comes to me, and I had this with a past client, ex-military guy, so he's real gung-ho, didn't lack confidence, got into the private sector, successful consultant for the government, right? Working for himself, successful right out the gate, getting into the business world. A lot of military guys are like that if they get into the business world. So he was already a real good hunter. But that, when it was coming to women he really wanted, it wasn't working, right? Started working with him, flipping the script, everything around, and boom. These women are coming to him. He's doing less work. It's better for him because he can work more in his job. He can spend more time with the kids. And then he can pick and choose the women that he wants, right? And so he also realized that he was being a hunter and kind of being on the hunt. And that's like the pickup guys, right? If you've seen all that pickup stuff out there, I'm not saying you can't ever get results with it, but the results are very superficial, short-term, and not lasting, because a lot of what happens is guys become this kind of superficial pickup artist guy persona, and they have nothing to back it up with actually being a guy of quality and character that could attract that type of woman and have the lifestyle to go along with it. And what I mean by lifestyle, I don't mean, oh yeah, flash the money and cash. I don't mean that at all. Don't take it for that, right? Because you already have that going on for you, and that actually hurts you, but it's about living your life the way you want, and that your life and the women are attracted and follow that, kind of like the Pied Piper, really, right? It's like the Pied Piper. People are inspired, and people in general, but women are inspired to come into your life as you invite them in, versus you trying to and then go get the roadkill or whatever, right? Go get the kill, okay? It's a totally different thing, okay? And so you can't fucking sit at home, pardon my French, but I like the F word, and expect things to be different. You can't sit on your computer with online dating and expect types of women to be attracted to you or to respond to you, if not extremely rarely, because they're getting inundated with guys who are deadbeats, guys who are really lame, and they're getting hundreds of messages a day, and even like the really unattractive ones are getting that. I heard that recently in my private Facebook group for successful guys, right? That this guy's like, what the hell's going on? These women are like a 4, right? Like a 4 on a scale of 0 to 10. And they're like acting like their shit doesn't stink, because they have all these guys coming after them, and even attractive guys, right? So that's why I say online dating, forget it. Got to meet women socially, right? And so I'm gonna do a whole freaking live class on this. There's a book called Explosive Growth. It's an entrepreneur's book, right? A lot of you guys here are entrepreneurs. Some of you are the, doctors, attorneys, lawyers, executives, stuff like that, successful guys. But my entrepreneurial folk will probably want to get this book, Explosive Growth, that another friend told me about. And it talks about a guy who is, I don't remember if he was part of Tinder, one of the most successful dating apps, okay? And he says that a dating app is designed not for you to find your ultimate relationship. And if you think about it, this makes sense. Why would that be? Well, if two people get together on a dating app or dating website, what happens? They have 2 users, 2 paying customers that get into a relationship, but boom, they lost 2 customers. See that? So they want you to get together with somebody who's maybe kind of a match or not a match at all, so that you keep coming back to the site. So you have to keep using their apps and sites. This is a fact. This is in a book called Explosive Growth. So the game is rigged against you, just like in casinos. The game is rigged against you actually winning. Okay? Now some people do win, but the casino has to make money. The dating sites have to make money. What I teach you here, and what I talk about, and what I help my clients with especially, is to take care of this forever so it's not a problem again. And that you can do it anywhere you go. Okay? Anywhere you live. Anywhere you want to start over. Okay? But you have to meet women initially, not on the app, in real life, IRL, hashtag. Meet socially, same thing, okay? And you have to have the confidence and swag to do that. You don't have to be a bad boy jerk, but it's a proven fact that women like guys with confidence, that are calm, cool, and collected around them. A guy that's nervous in that, and people say, oh, just be yourself and be nervous and shit. Okay, well, maybe if you can mask it, and it might work, but you're not giving yourself the best shot to learn how to be confident around the types of women that you want and cool, okay? And by cool, I don't mean Fonzie cool. Fonzie's not fucking cool. Fonzie's a douchebag. He's a douchebag with a good heart, sorta, but that's not cool. Cool's cool with everybody, okay? So, and that's going to make you a more attractive version of yourself. And if you're relying on friends or family and you have thoughts like there's no good women out there, another guy came to me and he's been doing great, thinking there were no women out there. And he lives in the DC area and he's like, nope, there's none available. Good looking guy, successful guy, good dude. I don't take douchebag guys on as clients, right? Sometimes I get on the phone with a guy and he might be really actually get a lot of women, but he's really needy, but he's a douchebag and he's real successful. Sorry, not going to help you. Okay, these are all good-hearted guys, okay? They don't want to do damage to women. They don't want to do damage. They don't even want to, take out other guys and compete with them, right? Because I don't advocate that anyways. So, online dating is rigged against you and us, right? And you can't rely on friends and family to do that. And don't get me started on, mail order bride sites. Horrible. Which matchmaking services, horrible. Limited pool of matchmaking, right? All the stuff I teach you here is how to be a fisherman. Matchmaking, all it does is give you a small pool of fish. Online dating does it too, but it's a much larger pool, but it isn't designed to help you find the right relationship, okay? So, again, it's in the book. And she's not going to show up magically at your doorstep. If you've been trying to pray to a higher power, whatever you believe in, okay, and she's not coming, that's not working, okay? I'm big time. I'm all about faith and spirituality, okay? But if you're doing that strategy, and I get some guys commenting, I just know that the Lord will bring her to me, and I just pray and pray and pray, and I look at this guy's Facebook profile, I'm like, no, dude, it's not going to happen that way, okay? We've got to get into some reality here. I'm not saying don't pray to your higher power or maker. I'm all for that. But if you're going to rely on that and you're not taking responsibility, right? Because God has created us in a way that we can actually take responsibility and take charge of our lives, right? So you have to be in that kind of place, okay? You have to take responsibility and become, again, this last point here, the most attractive version of yourself and do that, right? And create a lifestyle that you enjoy, that's going to be attractive, that you're actually enjoying yourself. Oh my God, having some fun. You bring that into your vibe, right? So, listen, if you're a successful guy struggling in this area of life, all the other areas of life are pretty dialed in. Don't have to be perfect, but yeah, you're doing well in your business, your career. I'd love to talk to you and help you with your love life problem here, because it's very likely that I can, okay? And so one of the simplest things you can do is reach out, book call. You can send me a PM. If that's what I recommend you do, is send me a PM here on the Facebook page, Core Confidence, or you can just go to coreconfidence.com/talk, TALK, coreconfidence.com/talk. Fill out a bit of info. Just make sure you fit a few simple criteria on that page, okay? And then we'll book in a time, and we'll talk for about 45 minutes to an hour, dive into the challenges you're really facing, struggling in your love life, and talk about that clear vision you want. I'll help you map out that third point I talked about of who she is and who you need to be, support you in that, and then talk about appropriate steps in order to do that, and see if I can help you, and get crystal clear on the plan to move this forward so you can really, really solve this and attract the women you want. And look, some of you might want to attract and have some fun with women along the way in an open, honest, authentic way. on the way to your passionate relationship. You can have passion along with that, and maybe some of you want to attract that passionate relationship sooner. Okay, we can talk about either way. So again, if you want to book in a call with me, the free call, breakthrough call, go to coreconference.com/talk, or send me a PM if you want to have a little chat about it too. Make sure it's a fit. You can do that, and more than happy to talk to you about how we can apply some of these very ideas, help customize it to you, overcome your specific challenges, because every guy, as successful as they are already, in other areas of life, has problems and unique challenges. There are common challenges, and there are always those unique ones, right? And I've seen them all, okay? I've seen them all and helped across the entire range of them, okay? From shyness to lack of attraction to only getting to first dates and then they flake out, or getting to several dates and they flake out, or getting no dates, or getting no interest, or no nothing, right? All that stuff. Inability to flirt and have that fun connection, inability just to be laid back, all that stuff. Okay, so again, go to coreconference.com/talk, or send me a PM on the Core Conference page here, and more than happy to talk to you and help you out with this, map out a plan. Okay, and that's it.